It's time for Grim Reviews. Playing through mods and helping you pick the best of the bunch. Let's get on with it. For this one, it's the Taltraxus engine by Localfire, first published on the 25th of July 2013. How did I miss this one? This is something special. Now, normally I would finish a dungeon before I'd bother to review it, but in this case I've stopped playing it early, so I can tell you about it so you can play it too. The basic story here is that you have been sent through a magical portal and you're expecting to come to a certain area. Instead you find yourself in a death trap. It's the Taltraxus engine. It's a machine that kills adventurers. It just eats adventurers. And the atmosphere is wonderful. It feels like a death trap. How so? You start in the middle of the dungeon. There are floors above, there are floors below. You're not given any clues or anything to tell you where you're supposed to be going. And normally I would criticize that, but in this, it just adds to that atmosphere. It's brilliant. The exploration is difficult and dangerous. Random teleports, invisible in the hallways, will suddenly switch your location and you're lost. Monsters can be quite tough if you're playing as a starting party, and the mod's author advises that if you can't fight, you should run. And it does just work. There are constantly shifting hallways, doors and walls opening and closing. I found myself running down a corridor from some enemies. Turn a corner and there's more enemies. Suddenly a wall opens up in front of me and I shift down it before it seals me into a new section. I can't get out. I'm forced to progress even further into the dungeon. It was fantastic. In addition, trails of poison clouds drift through the hallways, just adding an extra obstacle. The dungeon is entirely unforgiving. In the initial parts, I could not find any food, and then the food I was finding was rotten, causing the disease status defect when I ate it. It wasn't until later that I started to find better food sources in the forms of large herders and snails, and there was a scarcity of healing and life crystals, which make this really... It's punishing and unforgiving, but it's good. It's in a good way. Normally I would criticize that, but it's fantastic. I found some Grimrocks on the first level and I'm rushing through the hallways to find a way to get away from them. When I'm considering that I've gone far enough, I have to rest and regenerate my health, and it's incredibly tense because am I safe? I'm trying to get that rest to get enough health back up, but I just can't. It was just... This is great. It's just great, and it's got an atmosphere which... Just that you are lost in this maze without knowing what's going on, without... It destroys adventurers, and it just does that so well. That atmosphere is flawless. You've got to try this one. Like I said, I didn't finish it because I wanted to tell you that you should come and play it. It's great. I can't give this one a 5 now because I didn't finish it. Maybe it gets worse later. Maybe there are other issues, but at this current point I'm giving it a 4. It could be a 5. I've got a feeling that maybe it is. It's excellent, and it's got so many wonderful features. The atmosphere is perfect. You get a real sense that you are in constant danger. The walls shift and move, and enemies are released into areas of the dungeon that you thought you'd cleared. You never feel safe. It's great. I know I keep saying that, but it's because it's true. There's some nice usage in custom assets as well. Mostly cloned items with variable powers. So if you do find items such as a lurker vest, it's not necessarily a lurker vest. It's all in all, you've got to try this one out. Go, it's getting my recommendation.